Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell with MusicsMyLife.com here at Fountain Square in Cincinnati, Ohio with a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
They call me Hoodie Allen, so that's my name.
Well, Hoodie, it's a pleasure to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
Appreciate your time. Now, Hoodie Allen was originally more of like a duo, right, with Obey City?
Yeah, when we started, it was a rapper-producer duo, and I went by the name Steve Witz, which is like close to what my actual birth name is.
Right. Yep. And in terms of linking up with your current producer, RJ Ferguson, that actually goes all the way back to your interactive media marketing class with Suzanne Diamond.
You're trying to be like Nardwar right now, dude.
I mean, am I close?
He's done his research. That's true. I lived right near RJ in college, and we had similar friends. But then we had this class together, and I was like, I heard he was a producer, and like, you know, people knew I was a rapper, and it's, you know, that classic story.
Yeah.
We became friends, and just started working together.
That's awesome, man. And if I'm not mistaken, your guys' first time performing together was at Spring Fling. But your very first time performing was at the Crazy Donkey with Cyron Collective.
Yeah. I think, that Crazy Donkey was this venue in Long Island, it's closed now. It's no longer open, but it was a place for, like, you know, local acts to kind of play and break. We opened on like a fucking Kali Bud show or something, like the first of 8 openers. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Worst show of my life.
Yeah, and I understand that aside from Cyron Collective and yourself, around that time there weren't too many other teenagers rapping in the area, so you were asked to do a bit of freestyling and whatnot at house parties and stuff, and little did you probably realize at the time that ended up preparing you for freestyling backstage for Little Brother. How'd that come together?
Wow, that was at school when I was at Penn. Not only was I doing music, but I was part of a committee that would bring music, bring artists to campus for concerts. You know, not unlike now I'm going to concerts and doing that. So I was on the other side of things, and I was part of a group that brought Robert Randolph Band and Little Brother. Little Brother was like my favorite rap group, other than, you know, the Roots and Outkast.
Yeah.
So I love Little Brother, and they were going around the room like kind of joking with everyone, and like I was turning to my friends like I gotta say something, right? Like I gotta say I gotta step up and take this moment. So I did that. I was very nervous. If you see that video, I'm like super fucking nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool, man. That was a wild experience for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like it would be. And then, in addition to Little Brother, you mentioned Outkast, and in particular, their Stankonia album was pretty significant for you, right?
For sure. That was one of the first, like, quote unquote mainstream hip hop albums that I probably ever listened to. You know, because I grew up and I really liked, you know, like Reflection Eternal and Atmosphere. I got like 4 Atmosphere albums, but then I was like, you know, slowly got into like TRL existed, and you know, you're kind of learning new music, and yeah, like everything came with Stankonia for sure.
And if I suppose it could be said that you yourself were a bit of an outcast and a Little Brother in high school, right? Because you were in like a bunch of AP classes with the upperclassmen.
For sure, man. This is crazy. Yeah, I was always the youngest kid in my class. I was at classes with the older kids, just based on my previous schooling. So yeah, I was always like the youngest kid in class.
And as a result, you actually had the chance to graduate a year early, but you opted to stick around another year, and that I believe ended up.
This kid's blowing my mind. He knows everything about me.
I believe that ended up giving you some extra time to, you know, put out work on your first mixtape and put that out.
Yeah.
But then your first breakout mixtape, though, I suppose, was of course Pep Rally.
Yeah, I would say that was the first. Yeah, that was the first one where it was no longer a duo, and I started working with RJ. So I would say that's the first one that people really know.
Yeah, and then interestingly enough, your own high school has actually played some of your music at their Pep Rallies, right?
I haven't been back in a bit of time, but I did show up, and I do sometimes, like I made an appearance at some like little speaking thing, and like it's crazy. Like obviously my brother, I have a younger brother, so he sort of, it was always like when I started actually having fans and stuff, like tons of kids from my hometown always come to the shows because it's like they take pride in it, of course.
And it's cool that they welcome you back with open arms like that. I guess it shows that they don't hold grudges, because weren't you actually involved with putting a car on the top of the roof for a senior prank?
Yes, I was the president of my class, and that was our senior prank.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you know what? Everyone loved that prank. Even the principal loved that prank. We were all over the news and stuff. It was crazy.
And speaking of pranks, getting close to the end here, by the way. Speaking of pranks, someone actually asked you to had you put Nair on your armpits at sleepway camp back in the day.
What? Where did you read that?
I mean, it's out there somewhere. I don't recall specifically.
I don't even know if that was true. I remember something with Nair. I don't remember the context of it. I was really young. You know how little kids do when they see stuff.
Yeah, totally.
He's blowing my mind, man.
well, you may not remember the Nair incident specifically, but I'm sure you do have some better memories than that from sleepway camp. Like, for example, wasn't that where you had your first, I suppose, real kiss?
That's true. For people who don't know, Jewish sleepway camp, well, it's not Jewish sleepway camp, but a lot of sleepway camp has a lot of Jewish kids, especially when they go, and it's like, it's a breeding ground. That's when you like get all your first everythings.
Lastly, man, at this point in your career, do you consider music your life?
It's honestly, it's always been my life. It's just great that I can get paid to do what I love now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've always sort of instinctually felt that this is what that I'd be missing out if I wasn't doing this.
Yeah, totally. And I asked that because of my site, once again, being musicsmylife.com.
Absolutely, man.
Hoodie Allen.
Shout out to musicismylife.com, man. This was a fantastic interview.
Appreciate it, man.
I think people learned a lot about me that I didn't want them to know, and that's perfect.
Yeah. Well, best wishes with everything coming your way. Is there anything else you want to say to people out there watching?
Just feel free to follow me on all the social networks, and got a new album coming out very soon.
There you have it. Once again, I'm Damon Campbell, and this is Hoodie Allen. Thanks for watching.
Appreciate it.